Gavan, clearly a very emotional day for this family.
Very much so. Donald DeRochta and his surviving siblings were here today at Leinster House, and they are very mindful that this has been a 53-year process to try and clear Donald DeRochta's name from the allegations that they say were unfairly put to him in 1969. In that year, he was dismissed from the Defence Forces by President Eamon de Valera, acting on advice of the government. But Donald DeRochta was never told what he was alleged to have done wrong, and only discovered separately through connections to the civil service that he was supposedly supposed to have been linked to some sort of subversive paramilitary or Republican group, something which naturally would have been very sensitive for members of the Defence Forces at the time, but which in Donald DeRochta's case was completely untrue. He spent many years trying to clear his name. At some point he moved to the United States to get away from the negative publicity and the scandal that surrounded all of this. Moving back to Ireland, then subsequently in 2002 he began a 20-year campaign to try and finally clear his name. That resulted in an independent report being accepted by the government last Wednesday, which accepted that although there was good reason, of course, for the state to be worried about the links between the army and subversive Republicans, and in Donald DeRochta's instance, there was simply no evidence of same, and that Donald DeRochta had been given no chance to properly investigate and to clear his good name or to mount any kind of defence against the allegations that had been put to him. He and his family, including the well-known Chernobyl campaigner Eddie Roche, have been speaking outside Leinster House today.
I'm overcome. I'm so relieved. And justice delayed is still justice. I'm grateful to everybody who helped me all the years and stood by me and believed me.
What started here in 1969 as a grave miscarriage of justice ends here today, and justice has been served.
Now, Eddie and Donald and their siblings today spoke about the memories of their parents dealing with all of this. In fact, memories of their mother, who into her 80s was still pursuing a campaign to try and have her son's good name vindicated. And this is something which has dogged the family many times since. People may remember that when Eddie Roche contested the presidency in 1997, that this was once again reanimated, and Eddie Roche found her campaign on the back foot, having to once again insist that her family had been not responsible for any wrongdoing in the scandal that surrounded Donald DeRochta's dismissal in 1969. It has been 53 years since that unfair dismissal from the Defence Forces. He today said that even though it was justice delayed, he still believed it was justice, and this now is finally the end of a long-running affair that has dogged this family for over half a century.